Wife of 15 years ends love and friendship by next-door neighbor. My wife's true D-Day confession occurred on Thursday when she initially tried to reveal that she had gone to see the next-door neighbor, the just-a-friend guy, and ended up kissing him once because she felt so bad. It didn't make sense to me. Her actions and all the red flags told me that this affair had begun at least a month earlier. She puked a few times before admitting to have only done so the last time she went to his house. She has visited his residence at least 3 times. She demonstrated that they had only texted a few times. T-Mobile demonstrates the truth nearly 1,000 times in a handful of 2, 3, 4 a.m. sessions lasting roughly an hour. Yes, the first time was when she attempted to sneak out at 2 a.m. to assist him with a sick child. That was my first real moment, which lasted maybe a half hour, maybe more, maybe less. She met him outside our door first thing the next morning to walk dogs with him. The second time was to pay a visit to pals. She couldn't mention who or where she was with, but I saw her enter into his apartment when she thought I wasn't looking. When I arrived at his flat, all of the lights were turned out. At that moment, I knew it was true. I sat in his bedroom, my back to the wall. She tried to sneak out his back door around an hour and a half later to hide her location. She noticed me sitting in the grass and gave me the deer in the headlights look of fright, guilt, and other emotions. She had the audacity to sit next to me, but all I could smell was him, which she disputed, claiming that there were other people around. There weren't any. That night, I had serious suicidal thoughts. Heavy. I also tried 3 different strategies to tempt myself, but happily, it was just for a short time. The third and final time I'm aware of is the only time she admitted to having a relationship with him. It was the night after we had talked about divorce. I just thanked her for something and was trying to be nice. I hoped I was mistaken and everything was exactly as she described. I should have known better, but I adored my wife with all my heart, and she was, my best friend for 15 years. I really wanted to believe her. I then did something. The AP was out of the region, so she and I began having seemingly unguarded, candid chats about our prior marital problems, her present issues with what she thinks to be wrong with us, and so on. She pressed all the proper buttons to convince me she had never had anything with him, even once, but she did acknowledge she was attracted to him. If it was true, I told her I wanted at least one excellent weekend with her, sex and all. But I wouldn't risk it if she'd already cheated on me with him. She was quite convincing. Tears, hugs, and vulnerable conversation ensued. So that's what we did. I even assisted her in selecting a new vibrator. I'm so gullible. She did tell the truth. She cheated. She had more than one encounter with him. You know when you know. So many songs and poetry have been written about this topic. I'm aware that I'm not alone in this, but what I know is new and cannot be unknown right now. Like many of you, I deal with this at all hours of the day and night. When I'm awake, I envision them together and listen to what they have to say about me. The self-deprecating ideas about how she finds him far more pleasurable than I ever did. And then there are the nightmares. They are frequently worse than when I'm awake. If I do have a quiet moment of sleep, I wake up after only a few minutes and realize that this is still true, and all the air escapes me and I am unable to breathe. We had recently resolved in March to make a concerted effort to be better husband and wife, as well as parents to our daughter. I worked my tail off to present my best self, exposed myself vulnerably to her, and she did the same at first. But when she met the fat, ugly dog guy next door, she performed a complete 180 on me. I was taken aback. That was about a month ago. She gave the conventional, he's only a buddy response. She then informed me she wanted me to leave so she could be her own person for a bit. I was perplexed because I had done nothing wrong that I was aware of. I've done my best to be the best husband I could be. However, it was due to the affair. This is beyond my comprehension. I'm traveling for a 3-week visit with family in Florida to remove myself from the equation. Perhaps you can gain a better perspective on things. I'm not sure. I can't bear looking at her right now. I'm at a loss for words as I try to reconcile loving her for 15 years and now feeling intense hatred, wrath, and disgust for her in such a short period of time. It didn't have to end like this. This is not the case. I adore you from the bottom of my heart. You are my closest companion. Story number 2. My wife is unfaithful. Please assist me. I am 23. Have been married to my wife for a little more than 5 years. My wife and I have a 4-year-old kid. I've had my suspicions for a week or two that my wife was chatting to someone and or cheating on me. When I arrived home last night and she was asleep, I examined her phone and confirmed my concerns. She's been texting a coworker, and the texts over the last 2 days, prior texts were deleted, have varied from both of them expressing I love you to making preparations for him to come to my house today while I'm at work. While they did not explicitly state that they would have it, it was strongly implied. There is evidence that additional acts have previously occurred. I'm currently seated at a Waffle House after calling in to say I'm not coming in. If he does come over, I'm going to try to gather proof of the visit by watching when my alarm is armed/disarmed through the app on my phone. According to my study, if the marriage ends in divorce and I can prove she committed adultery, she will be ineligible for alimony in my state. I could prevent them from happening by going home and confronting her before it happens, but it could cost me a lot in the long run if our marriage fails. I adore her and don't want our relationship to end, but I don't see how I can forgive her for this. Even if I addressed her now, I'd always feel the same way she did with him. This is excruciatingly painful. I adore her more than anything else, and I have a hole in my chest and lead in my stomach. I'm physically hungry, but I can't bring myself to eat since I'm sick. I can't stop trembling, I can't think clearly, and I feel like a piece of me has been ripped out. I'm frightened of what this will entail for my life, and more importantly, for my daughter's life. I'm at a loss for what to do. Update. First and foremost, thank you for the silver. It's unfortunate that my first Reddit award had to be for this, but thank you anyways. Thank you so much for all of your advice, recommendations, and help. While I'm still physically sick, I'm able to think more clearly as a result of everyone's help. I'll keep you all updated as things progress. 1. Update. I just wanted to say thank you once more. I haven't left this post since I started it, and I haven't stopped reading it. Right now, this is the only thing keeping me sane. If you're new here, don't think that since there are 250 plus comments, your opinion/advice isn't valuable. I read every single comment with an open mind, and I am incorporating all of them into what I do. It also helps. A lot. I haven't confronted them yet because the guy hasn't come up, and I doubt he will today. Maybe she realized I was aware. I tried to seem as if nothing was wrong when one of you is fantastic. You're actually assisting me in getting through this. The person never showed up, so here's my current plan. I'm going to pretend as if nothing is wrong for the time being. After speaking with you all in my family, I believe I can put on a brave face and pretend that nothing is wrong. I'm going to see a lawyer in the morning, and I spoke with a private investigator who I'm thinking about employing. I know from the text that she intended to have him come over during the hunting trip I'm planning for next weekend, so I'll make sure I go and that the PI is aware. I believe I've made my decision. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm going to cover my and flee. It isn't just an affair in the sense that she is having one. She tells him she loves him, but she no longer appears to love me. She seemed to be attempting to take advantage of me. She wanted a new car and for me to pay for her schooling, but she also wanted to be with him. She is currently on her way to, supposedly, pick up my daughter from daycare. I'm keeping track of the time. I'm aware of how long it should take. If she takes her time, I'll be able to figure out where she went. In any case, I'm going to try to go through Christmas and my daughter's birthday next Friday without mentioning it. Hopefully, the PI will be able to locate evidence. Please wish me luck. Third update. So I went home and pretended to